Good morning, Rising Church. It's such a great honor to be able to be up here on the stage with Julie Scott. Julie Scott helps out with Young Life Haiti, and a few months ago I had the chance to be able to go with you and Chuck and a few other people down to Haiti for my very first trip there. Had an amazing time with those people that were down there. Lots has happened since then. I think when we left, things were starting to kind of turn to not so good.
Right.
Can you share with us a little bit about what's happened over the last couple of weeks and months since you've been there?
Sure, yes. So it was last September when we went, and I was supposed to go back in November and couldn't go. And I think the last time I spoke about we were pretty much Haiti was deep in crisis then. And so about the beginning of December, it started getting better, which is good news, and I was able to go last week. So it's better. Basically, it felt back to normal to me. And I think what has happened is that instead of the people rising up and going to the streets, they're done with kind of the street protests, but now there's kind of these little pockets of gang violence around the city. So it is instilling a lot of fear in the people, and they're still suffering from high prices and things like that. But overall, it's better, which is good. And when I talked to the staff about why, they list a few reasons I thought were interesting. One, if you remember, we did pass out 50-day of prayer cards, and we did that through the first of the year, but we can pray for another 50 days or 100 days, right? Still need your prayer. Very thankful for that. So they count that as God's blessing and God's power and answer to prayer. The other thing was Christmas was right there in December, and sounds crazy, but hey, Christmas is a holiday, and we're just not going to really protest right now. They said also the resolve of the Haitian people. They were tired of being kind of locked down and put into their places, and they're like, we are just going to rise up, and we are just going to go out, and we're going to go back to school, and we're going to just live life normally, and they did, and so that began to also transition. At the same time, there was a parliament meeting in January, and most of the opposition senators, their term expired, which was good. So that's kind of where Haiti's at right now.
This is all great news.
Yeah.
I believe, and I think you have a video that you'd like to maybe introduce.
I do. So I just took a little, just my iPhone video. So this is one of those iMemories that showed up for me. So it just has little glimpses of what we did. So mostly we did three things. We went to the Good Shepherd School, and we got some more photos and updates on the kids that are sponsored, and just made sure everything was going on well at the school. And then we also went Young Life, and we did a women's ministry event with 100 girls. You'll see that. And you might figure this out, but we also tagged and packed about 3,000 pieces of metal, the metal that we were selling, that I sell at the global marketplace, because we had a big order, and we were able to employ about 12 people to do that. So we'll watch the video.
D'abord, à la main de l'association.
So just a quick glimpses of some of the things we did. I really wanted to highlight one of those things. You may have seen the girl that was holding the artwork. So at the women's event, our staff always say, please come and share with us, and they give some topics they want to discuss. And this one was, how does Jesus feel about women and young girls in the Bible? And so we met with all these girls, and we ended up choosing the Luke 13 story of the bent over woman, which isn't typically a story that's shared that much. The woman who's bent, her head and even her body is bent from her suffering, and we felt like that kind of epitomized maybe a woman, a young girl in Haiti who just feels burdened and bent with her suffering. And so the girl that Juliana was up there, she had the picture. There's a story about her that I'd heard earlier. She one of our leaders, Mimi, she's a nurse and she works in an ambulance. And so she met Juliana at the hospital. And she could tell that this young woman was bent over and suffering and sadness. And so she began a relationship with her and talked with her. She ended up going to camp. She ended up meeting Jesus. And she also, and she was basically her lifestyle because of no father in the picture. It's just she and her mother. She pretty much sold herself to men so that they could have money to live and eat. And Mimi kind of walked with her through that, and she gave up that lifestyle, and they helped her go back to school. And so that was her. I've seen a before and after picture, and I can just see her face, life transformation of the power of God in her life. The picture she was holding, we had a calligraphy, somebody we knew did this, and it said, Jesus is the lifter of my head. So I think that's just a beautiful testimony, a beautiful story of just the impact that is happening through Young Life Haiti, and because of you guys and your support, our church's support. So that's a fun story.
Julia, having been there, having seen some of what we just saw in the video, what are some things that we as a church right here, right now, can do as far as action steps to kind of help and come alongside what you're doing with Young Life Haiti?
So one is just please keep praying for Haiti. We did 50 days. Let's do 50 more and 100 more. They need our prayer. A couple things. I think this is the season that we're raising support for camping, campership. All our camps happen most of them happen in the summer and the spring. So we really do have to raise like $100,000 to send like 2,000 kids to camp. And so we are going to, I would love to just let you know that we're also always selling the metal. I brought back tons of metal. I'm thinking about having a spring show for metal. The other thing, I wrote a couple things down. This time next year, I just think this is really fun. This actual weekend in 2021, our LAC division, Latin America, Caribbean, which is Haiti is a part of that. It's all of the Latin American, Caribbean countries that are involved in Young Life. We meet once a year. This year it was in Colorado in October, and we're skipping this October, and we're coming here to Sharp Top Cove, which is really close to us, about an hour. I've already Blaine is going to host work crew for this weekend, and I would love for some of you guys to be able to just come for a meal, come for the day, come sign up. You would get to see the whole Latin America, Caribbean, and a lot of our Haitian staff are going to be there. So those are a couple things. I think I had one more. I can't remember it.